Oh my god, it scared the crap out of me. Look.
Oh, wait, is this a new one?
No, this
Just the one or two?
The two.
The two. For $100?
Yeah.
For both?
And then I have the one that Larry got me like years ago.
Wow.
Look at that.
Okay.
Sorry, little spider.
This is a great setup. I like how you did the white, over there. You did that all hand.
Yeah.
You would probably be a great teacher if you did a teacher thing for whatchamacallit, for class or
I'm
something.
rehousing this little baby spider.
A baby spider.
It's been rehoused to the chocolate factory.
Oh damn.
Oops,
I was.
Mom.
No, you know what I did? No. You know what I did? I was trying to do. I was trying to put $100 on it for you.
Thank you.
Okay. So now you can't yell at your mother because it's on me.
Okay.
The trains, okay? But that's what I was trying to, I was trying to get it to sit on the train. Is that okay? I don't get yelled at now?
No, you don't get yelled at.
Okay. But otherwise I would have gotten yelled at.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, good. Now I know what to do. I love mine. Every now and then I come down here to do it.
Good.
But I just wanted to for a while. I knew I wasn't going to, that's why I covered it.
Do you work late on Wednesdays now, Mom?
Today somehow not getting started till 9:15, which is fine. Oh, so I have to go to Brooklyn. I'm not gonna be home tonight.
Okay, that's
You're
fine.
okay by yourself?
That's fine. Yeah.
No, but I'll be home late tonight.
That's fine. Yeah.
I'll be home late tonight. So you're on your own. I make pasta.
Oh, perfect. So then I'll eat the pasta for dinner.
And that's it. It's in the pot. I can have it. I have to use the
Okay, Mom.
Love you, bye.
Love you too. Alright, I think we're all hooked up now. Oops. Sorry for that brief interruption. Supersonic. Yeah, by all means, brother. Just gonna move out the freight out of the yard and onto. It's a little bit of a diesel morning right now, but I am going to throw on the Penske E6 Atlantic in about 2 minutes. And then I'll probably throw on the New York Central F7 unit as well for the inner loop freight. But anyways, feel free to share your favorite steam locomotives. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, or sorry, in the chat. I'm so used to uploading a video. Put them in the chat. I'll answer them as quickly as I can. As you guys can see, for those of you who regularly tune into my lives and watch my videos, I haven't really done much with the layout in terms of scenery. I tend to do scenery during the winter time because obviously since it's so cold out, I like to stay inside a lot. I don't really go out in the winter as much as I do in the summer, so I'm also low on supplies, so I do have to restock on scenery supplies, which I haven't done in a couple months. But it's almost the end of summer. It is August, so I am going to grab some scenery supplies probably towards the end of this month. That should last me a good month or two. I have 2 crossings that are almost about back to back on my layout. So, and then for those of you wondering, this right here is a Reading and Northern GP38, I think. Oh, sorry, GP40-2. Here are my favorites. All right, let me hear them. Or, well, let's see them. I bet you a couple of them are probably on that. A couple of mine are probably on that list. Pierre Marquette 1225. Nice. That's number 1. That's probably number 3 or 4 for me. Very nice. Yeah, that's probably, being from New York and living in New York, I'm a big New York Central guy. So New York Central Hudson number 5344 is, I think, number 2. That is number 1 for me. The 20th Century Limited, the Dreyfus or Dreyfus Hudson, however you pronounce it. That's number 1. I've always been a big fan of that. Honestly, for me, it goes the Dreyfus Hudson, Commodore Vanderbilt. I would probably then say in number 3 spot, SP 4449 Daylight. Oh, look at that. Yep. So the SP 4449 and I'd say the Norfolk and Western 611 are in the top, are tied for number 3. Pierre Marquette 1225 are probably number 4. Nickel Plate Railroad 765 is number 5 for me. Yeah. I mean, obviously everyone loves the big boy. I love the big boy. Big boy was on my top list for steam locomotives to see, but it's probably number 5 in terms of my favorite locomotives, just because being from New York, I'm a big New York Central and Pennsylvania Railroad fan. So the Commodore Vanderbilt and the New York Central Dreyfus Hudson are my number 1 and 2s. Just gonna speed up the freight a little bit. Guys, I just got those new Amtrak passenger cars from Walters. They are beautiful. Now, I'm not entirely sure what era of Amtrak they're from. I think they're the late 80s, early 90s. But if anybody wants to let me know, that'd be great. What is... I can't find the box. I don't know where the box is. But they're beautiful. They almost look like the Metro North Comet cars. Yeah, the J1 Hudson, I'm going to be putting it on the layout at some point, but sitting right there, dangerously close to the edge of my table, is a beautiful Bachmann J1 Hudson, New York Central. So I will be putting that on my layout in a little bit. So just stay tuned for that. That's going on my layout in the next like 5 minutes. This right here is an Alaskan Railroad log car, which I think is pretty cool. Tropicana boxcar also pretty cool. And then you'll see in the freight consist, the very first boxcar is a special edition Lionel boxcar made specifically for the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum. I'm just gonna slow the freight down here so you guys... Oh, I'm not on the freight. I was on my Amtrak unit. Whoops. This is what I get for having too many engines and forgetting what number I assign them to. Because I do forget sometimes. Especially when I, like, don't run trains for, like, a week and a half or so. And then I come back and I'm like, shit. But, okay. So let me slow down the freight so I can show you guys this really cool special boxcar that I got while I was in Strasbourg. So for the museum, the railroad, the Pennsylvania, Jesus Louise, the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania, for their 50th anniversary, Lionel made this beautiful special edition HO boxcar in honor of the museum's 50th. It has some of their beautiful displays. And obviously the doors open up. Nice black and gold roof, which looks really sleek, especially behind the Atlantic coastline, behind the Pennsylvania Railroad unit, my E6 unit itself, and even behind the New York Central, which I know is not probably prototypical because obviously the New York Central and the Pennsylvania Railroad were big rivals back in the day. But this is one of my favorite boxcars I own in HO scale. And I do have a Strasbourg one, but that one broke, so I turned that into a display on my layout. But I did get a special Lionel Strasbourg boxcar. Same dimensions as this one. It just is a normal red boxcar that said Strasbourg Railroad on it. But yeah, that's a display right there now. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Anyways. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Alright, we're going to bring the Amtrak in and we're going to put the New York Central Hudson on. Brief intermission, gents and ladies. Give me a second. If anyone could tell me what I'm whistling in the comments, they get kudo points. I promise you guys one day I will be big enough on this channel to do some sort of giveaway. That would be really cool. What I like about this model is that even on the tender, it has the water scoop under it, which is super cool. Super, 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 super cool. Nope, it's on number 2. Yes. I'm not sure if the Hudson's diecast. I got it from Bachman. How did I miss? How did I manage to miss the hookup on that? That was embarrassing. I will say the engine itself, all metal, all die-cast metal. The wheels, the running gear, everything from the bell to the whistle, everything is metal. The only plastic, tender. Tender's plastic, and it's super light because the only thing in the tender. Oh, so then yes, it is die-cast. The engine is metal, so it is die-cast. Tender is plastic, which I don't like because the only thing in the tender is the speaker. So it's super empty. And I'll show you guys now. The tender rattles because the sound is so loud and it's so empty. So I either have to turn down the sound in the CV settings or take apart the tender and add some weights and some foam in there so that it doesn't rattle the tender. But let me give you guys an example. I don't know if you can hear the rattle. Let me get you guys closer. I don't know if you can hear the rattles. It doesn't rattle very often. It only rattles with certain whistles, but I do like using all the plethora of... This Bachmann steam locomotive surprisingly has like 20 to 30 different whistles on here, including UK whistles for some reason. I don't know why it has UK whistles as an option in here, being this is a North American East Coast locomotive, but I digress. It's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, so the engine, die-cast metal, the tender, not die-cast. That thing is cheap plastic for sure. But what I'm going to do to fix that rattle is I'm not going to turn down the volume. I'm just going to pop open the tender and then add some, let me show you guys, add some foam and then some weights in there to make it a little bit more hefty. And then hopefully that should stop the rattling. Being is that the only thing in the tender is the speaker and some wires and nothing else. It is so light. Like, look how light that is. I'm surprised it didn't derail, but I mean, like, you could, like, there's no weight in there whatsoever. But anyways, let's move it on out. Now that I'm done griping about one of my favorite engines on my layout. Oh, all right. All right, there we go. Now, if you had larger curves, or if I had larger curves, I could definitely run this at a little bit of a higher speed. But I am limited due to the fact that my curves are fairly tight. Alright. I was going to put the New York Central F7 unit on that, but I forgot. So I'm just going to crank the freight and call it a day. And let me lower you guys just a tad so you guys get a better view of the trains coming through. There, that should help. Again, this steam locomotive has several different whistles, several hundred different whistles. I mean, I honestly, honest to God, think it's like 22, 30 whistles. Oh, dude, I forgot about the Canadian Pacific Hudson. Do you guys want a different angle on the layout? Let me know. I could put you by the crossing. I could put you at the end of the station on the curve. I could put you facing the main line straight on the opposite side of the table. You guys let me know. Yes, please. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go crossing? Do you want to go by the end of the station curve at the beginning of what I call Dead Man's Curve? Or do you want to go by the opposite end of the table at the main line straight? Main line straight. You got it, brother. Main line it is. Oh, this is the N scale table, by the way. This is my mom's. My Lego stuff, but this is all my mom's track, all my mom's trains. I have nothing to do with this. I did this, though. Yeah, I did the detailing, but other than that, that's all the trains that she has purchased. She actually has some pretty cool N-scale trains, I'm not going to lie. But, all right. Here we go. Main line. View. I'll get you guys nice up close and personal. And then I'll also get the lighting a little bit better for y'all. So. All right, there we go. How's this, guys? Is this good? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if this is good. All right. This part of the layout I'm probably super proud of. One of the most detailed part of my layouts. I worked on this section here for probably a good couple weeks. This going into Dead Man's Curve, and you'll see why in a little bit why I call it Dead Man's Curve. But I'll give you a little backstory. A train was going a little too fast down the main line one day, and the engineer unfortunately was not paying attention, and he hit the curve and flipped the train, and now the remnants of the train has been left over and overgrown and whatnot, but I'll get into that and show you guys my little awesome project that I did over there in a little bit. So I'm gonna stop talking and drive this train. Continue to chat. I will read the chat once I come back. I'm just gonna leave my phone over here by the main line so I can get back to my control area. Okay, I'm gonna switch the whistle on the Hudson here. So give me a brief second.
Original Buffalo Creek Valley 3 chime.
Buffalo Creek 3 chime. Let's see how this sounds. Canadian National 5 chime. I didn't even know that had even been on here. I don't like it. Cassidy and Guerrero, Shane number 5. Let's see how this sounds off of a New York Central. Oh, she lost her consist. She's a rogue steamer.
Central New Jersey 3 chime.
Hold on, I think we should go back to the Cass Scenic Railroad.
Cass Scenic Railway, shade number 5, whistle.
I kind of like that one. But I also need to reconnect this consist, so give me a second. I also just think I'd change the sound of the chuff. I for sure 100% did. I don't even know how I did that. Alright, we're going to take off the Amtrak in the back and just have a 4-passenger consist. See, how did I change the puffs? I don't even know how I did that. Or the chuffing of the locomotive. How did I manage to change the sound of that? Oh, well, I think I just fixed it. Okay. Oh no, she lost it again. What is going on, man? What is happening? She was running like perfectly fine. And then all of a sudden, oh, she just blew her safety valve. Yeah, no, the spring's still on there. Everything seems to be good. All right. Sorry for that brief interruption, folks. We'll get back into the train moving right now. Uh, the heck? Oh, it's because I was on the wrong function. Huh? I don't know what's happening. This isn't like the Amtrak passenger cars, so I think I'll just go take those off for now. And just run the Pensy ones. So I hope you guys don't mind. But I don't know if it was the Amtrak couplers or the Steam Loco coupler. But you know what? Whilst we're here, we might as well. Whilst we're here, and the freight is stopped, and I actually remembered this time, we'll pop this off and put on this beautiful F7 New York Central unit. A little New York Central takeover on the layout. I am planning on getting a New York Central steam switcher, an 060 from Bachmann. I had it in one of it. I had it when I first started HO. It was one of my very first locomotives. I eventually sold it, making room for bigger, better locomotives. And now that I've sold it and I have a diesel switcher, I really want that steam switcher back. So. Sorry, folks. I'm just lubing up the steam locomotive really quickly. Okay. And I'm going to take the Atlantic coastline off.
New York Central Hudson, flight 10. Welcome to Denver Riverbound, Western Denver Riverbound, Western Denver Riverbound, Southwestern Station.
Okay, I'm going to test one thing before we go. I want to see how much this New York Central steam loco can pull. So we're going to attach the freight to this steam loco console. Alright, we unhook the freight. We'll take off the observation car on the Pennsy. Okay, I'm gonna mute that. Oh shit. Okay, here we go, ladies and gents. Super long consist. I need to add one last thing to it. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, here we go. Wow, it is pulling the consist. Okay, y'all. Well, that's gonna do it for the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me just check the chat before I leave. Alrighty. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next train home. Oh, you know what? I'll let the steamer roll through one more time. Alrighty, folks. Have a good one, and I'll